Hi, my name is Thais Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about the dismissive, avoidant, and anxious preoccupied love language relationship. So, if you're not already familiar, there are 5 love languages. This is from the work of Dr. Gary Chapman, and these love languages are quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, and gifts. Now, we already know that each different attachment style has a different love language, but we haven't talked about how these attachment styles interact in their love languages with each other, as well as the different strategies each attachment style uses to meet these love languages. And I've seen this come out more and more as being so much more impactful over time. So we're going to talk about this here today. And if you want to do a much deeper dive in the dismissive, avoidant, and anxious preoccupied relationship, we have these in-depth courses you can check out for free for 7 days. And you can click the link below if you want to access them. And it is the dismissive, avoidant, and anxious preoccupied relationship. Right now, if you go into the school, they're in their webinar library. There's a part 1 and a part 2, each is about 2 hours in length, and it touches on everything, all the patterns, the pain points, the needs of each style, how to communicate as each individual style to the other style, and talk about your needs to the other person in the way that's going to be best received. The fears, the pain points, the reprogramming needed, the communication needed, just all the stuff, including the love languages. So you can check that out if you want to do a much deeper dive and sort of get that extra support system to help your relationship get back on track. And besides that, I'll go into this video right now. So the 5 love languages. Here's what I really noticed between DA and AP. Quality time for anxious preoccupied, a lot of quality time is like bringing the person into your life. It's like connecting them into your entire life. So a lot of the time, quality time starts out with like togetherness, meaning like presence, a lot of quality time of like sharing, chatting, talking about things, doing things together. But there's a really strong extension for anxious preoccupied individuals more than the other attachment styles as a general rule, where it's like meeting my friends, meeting my family, hanging out with my friends and family, spending time as a group together. And for dismissive avoidance, a lot of their like quality time love language has a lot to do with like intellectual connection. Are we having mentally stimulating and thought-provoking conversations? And that tends to be the best way that they receive quality time. Or are we doing something that's a creature comfort together? So that can be there too, like watching a movie together, playing a video game together. Like some of these things that DAs use to soothe, doing that with their partner can be something that's important to them as well. So we'll see these different dynamics around quality time. Obviously, APs tend to value quality time a lot more than dismissive avoidance as a general rule. Then we have physical touch. APs tend to be very physically affectionate. They really get a lot of their needs met through cuddling, touching, holding hands, rubbing each other's backs, like very physically present individuals the vast majority of the time. DAs, that tends to not really be their love language much at all. They're okay at receiving physical touch, but they take, until they become more secure, they generally take a while to warm up to that, because it's a lot of intimacy and vulnerability in these love languages, a lot of quality time, physical touch. They're very like present and vulnerable love languages, less so than like giving somebody a gift, for example, more so than giving somebody a gift, for example. And then we have the dynamic of physical touch for the DA being like a little bit of discomfort, but sometimes DA is also like they're more comfortable with, and this is usually like, if you're not really in a relationship, it can change over time for individuals who are in a relationship with a DA, but generally in the dating stage, they tend to be more sexually focused and comfortable being like physically intimate around sex. Or in other polarities, I'll see DAs be like very not open to having sex until they've really built a strong, secure, and stable intellectual connection with comfort. And until those prerequisites are met, we'll see DAs be very resistant to physical intimacy like sex, not just physical affection. So that's that one. Acts of service tends to be really important for dismissive avoidance. It's a huge way they receive love. And again, this can be like doing chores for somebody. This can be like bringing them dinner, bringing them coffee, driving them to the airport, these different like acts of service. And that's a huge way that DAs express love, and a huge way they expect to receive love, and how they often feel best supported. APs can be giving in that area, but they tend to be like more leaning towards the more intimate love languages as a whole. And so you'll see sort of a discrepancy there in the relationship. But again, like the whole purpose of this is for us to be able to recognize what our love languages are, what our partners is, or loved ones in our lives, our friends, family, romantic relationships, any of them, and then be able to like intentionally meet the needs in a form that they receive, or the love languages in the form that they receive, because this is how we're going to have like a really strong dynamic this way, where both people feel really deeply connected. So our next two, we have gifts and words of affirmation. Gifts, APs can be very good at giving gifts. And they also, it can be really important for them to receive gifts around like holidays, like things like Valentine's Day, birthdays, things like this. And they want to feel like they're special and wanted and prioritized and important. DAs, I see, can sometimes be uncomfortable receiving gifts, or sometimes can really appreciate receiving gifts. If they're over the top, DAs can sort of feel uncomfortable sometimes. But if they're like consistent and nice and just thoughtful gifts, DAs can be quite good at receiving them. And DAs sometimes will put a lot of thought into gifts themselves. I see that more as a female trend, as a general rule. And then DA males will often, sometimes they can receive gifts well, but sometimes they can struggle to intentionally put time into like giving gifts, thinking of gifts, and sometimes can feel like a little bit of helplessness there, and then kind of feel shut down. And this isn't like a one size fits all thing here, but it's definitely some of the patterns that I've seen most profoundly or repeatedly over the years. And then lastly, words of affirmation. This is a really good love language where both individuals do really well with this, but APs tend to want words of affirmation that are like over the top, make them feel special, wanted, fantastic, like they've got all these great characteristics and that they're seen, and like, you know, a lot of that like compliments, like, you know, on a regular basis, around feeling significant, special, wanted, are the big drivers for APs. For DAs, it's like appreciated, acknowledged, safe. And there's a big difference there. So, you know, when a DA receives somebody saying, hey, I notice you're really working hard at what you're doing, or, hey, you know, you've really been putting time and effort into the relationship. I really appreciate that. It goes a long way. Or thank you for what you do or how you show up, or thank you for planning the evening. I really noticed that. Thank you. Like these sorts of things go a really long way. Whereas if they're too over the top in terms of like compliments about how great you are, DAs can sort of feel like they're over the top and sort of feel too vulnerable around that and sort of reject or deny them or deflect them a little bit, and even come to sort of not really trust it at times. So these are some of the different things to pay attention to, different discrepancies, pain points, things that can show up. Again, if you want to do a way deeper dive into the DA-AP relationship as a whole and everything that will need to be worked on, and all the patterns that you want to break down and have the ability to work through, you can check out those courses that I mentioned for free by clicking on the link in the description box below. And also, if you want to do a deeper dive into the school for 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, you can sign up and you can use the With You coupon code. It's With You, all one word, and it will give you 25% off of anything you purchase. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.